Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 225 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. It's Throwback Thursday, where we look back at an interesting video or article, and today we'll be talking about the ready position after the pendulum serve. In the questions, we'll talk about using long pivots on the forehand, the best way to clean your table, and the backhand counter loop. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And I'm surprised you didn't also indicate that 225 is a square of 15, Jeffrey.
Wow, you are so good at maths. That's impressive. Yep, so there you go. Everyone, Alois still loves the number facts, and 225 is the square root of 15.
No, it's not. It's the square of 15, Jeff.
Oh,
is it too early for you?
You need too early. I'm really tired.
You need some brushing up with your maths, Jeffrey.
That is terrible. Lucky you're on the ball. See, I was just testing you, making sure you knew your maths.
Exactly.
225 is the square of 15.
Good.
Brilliant. Now, Alois, I'm going straight into today's PingSkills question of the day, because it is maths or English. So jump onto the Facebook page. Let us know if it's maths or English, all right? And you can also jump onto our blog at pingskills.com. All righty. I'd love to hear. Clearly for you, I reckon it's maths, Alois, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Now, yesterday's PingSkills question of the day was, should you apologize for a net or an edge? And I think this just blew everyone's mind. A lot of discussion on this one.
Yeah, and it always does create a little bit of interest. So, yeah, quite a lot of yeps and yeahs and yeehies and yeses and I do's. It almost sounds like a wedding ceremony. And Roger said an always as well. So there you go. So by and large, most people are saying yes, that you should. Jose said, Jose on the other side, why do athletes apologize for a good shot or accidental shot in table tennis? In other sports, that does not happen. But you said, well, badminton has the same spirit. And Tulasi said, I always aim for the top of the net. I play very close to edge of the table and top of the net. Sometimes a point is intentionally played to get the edge or catch the net, or sometimes both. But you have to apologize to your opponent for lucky points. Yes, interesting. David said luck is a part of your game, so you shouldn't. Dominic said, I always say sorry and get annoyed at those who don't. You aren't seriously and deliberately aiming to hit the ball past the top of the playing surface to clip the edge. You technically hit the ball too long, so acknowledging you were fortunate to still win an unplayable return shows graciousness and sportsmanship, which are signs of a good character. And Glenn O'Day, always a good contributor, said, I always acknowledge a net or an edge, which results in a winner with a raised hand. But you still need to allow yourself to celebrate winning of the point in a more subdued manner. So maybe just a quiet yes. So there you go. So yeah, a few different ideas, but yeah, by and large, the audience says yes, you should.
There you go. It is always fascinating to hear people's thoughts on this. One that I did like on the blog, I think it might have been Dieter Alois, was if you didn't have this custom already in place and you just started playing, you would be like, I'm not going to apologize for that. But because the custom's in place and it's what people expect, I think, just raising your hand is probably just the way to go.
Yeah, it is. That is really interesting, because I see it in school table tennis often. And in school table tennis, like, the kids just get a net and an edge, and no one really says anything. They just, sometimes they even just celebrate. And the other kids don't care. They don't mind that, that they're celebrating. They might say, but yeah, it's they don't really know that custom, and they just, I think, accept it. But yeah, that's an interesting point.
There you go. And I forget who it was that mentioned, sometimes you aim for a net or an edge. I have had quite a few people suggest to me, Alois, that someone should just practice serving onto the edge, because if they can get that right, they're going to basically win all of their service points. Is that a good idea?
Well, no, I don't think so. But it is always an interesting idea, though. Just something different. I remember Tommy Danielson, a guy that I used to get the opportunity to train with quite a bit. He always prided himself on trying to serve the edge ball, and he could do it maybe 1 out of 3. If you asked him, he'd say, all the time, but probably 1 out of 3. So yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess the problem is, as soon as you miss one, you've just lost a point for nothing. So you really need like a 99% success rate, or it's just not going to be worthwhile, especially when you serve so effective anyway.
Yeah, and if you're deliberately aiming for the edge, you sort of get to pretty well telescope what you're doing. You're sort of aiming for the edge there, so you could almost, the receiver's going to be pretty well ready for that spot.
Yeah, but if you hit the edge, it's going to be hard for him to get it back.
True. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to this day in history. What happened on the 18th of February, Alice?
Yes. So in 1933, in the Yoko Ono was born. So famously, I suppose, John Lennon's wife. But also the death of Michelangelo in 1564, just before I was around.
Wow.
1564, yes. Michelangelo.
Just before you were around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the 400 years.
Okay, nice one. All right. Okay. Now, I hope everyone has started following our Instagram account. A couple of good posts there yesterday. Go to instagram.com/PingSkills. Yeah, we asked a few interesting things like, do you need more speed? Do you have a killer instinct? So check out our Instagram account. And there'll be some more good posts today.
Yes, they were good. Yeah, made me giggle.
Indeed. All right. Now, it is Throwback Thursday. What are we looking back upon today?
Yeah, so we're looking back at one of the really early Ask the Coach video responses, and it was about how to get your ready position after you do a pendulum serve. So with the pendulum serve, we know that a lot of the time players stand right over on the backhand corner, and they might even have their the feet turned really well sideways. So to get from that position to the ready position is a really important part of that whole service. If you're serving from over here and just staying there, or even after you serve and you're just staying in this position here, then you're really exposing your backhand side and even your wide forehand side. So after that serve, it's really critical to make sure that you jump into that ready position, and so you're ready as soon as you can, but also making sure that you're following the ball. So after you serve, follow what's happening with the ball, and you can also adjust that position depending on where you serve. So if you serve fast and wide out to the opposite corner, then you're going to be able to, then you need to cover your backhand corner. So for right-handers, I'm jumping around a lot this morning. If you're right over here and serving out wide there, then you need to cover this backhand corner. If you serve down the line, then you need to cover a little bit more on the forehand corner. But the important part is after that service motion that you get yourself into that more central position, because if you stay over in the pendulum serving spot, you're going to really struggle for the rest of the rally.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And I guess, like you said, it's just about thinking about where you're serving the ball is important too. So you do get into that, good position where you can cover everything. The table's not that big, so if you play it smart, you should be able to be in a reasonable position, especially after your own serve.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose the other thing that's quite subtle, but it is also really important, is to make sure, because with the pendulum serve, we have a modified grip. We've got those fingers away from the handle. So make sure that after you serve that you get that grip back as well. I see a lot of players when they start to do the pendulum serve, they're doing this and they try and play the first shot like that with that same grip, because they just haven't got the pattern of getting that grip back again. So after the pendulum grip, back straight to the normal shake hand grip. So yeah, always remember that as well, and something that a lot of players just forget about, because that's sort of the last thing they're thinking about. They're thinking about doing the serve, they're thinking about getting spin, they're thinking about getting in position, then they forget about the grip.
Yeah, great tip. Great tip. All right, now, Alois, not only do we have an Instagram account, we also have Snapchat account. And we post interesting stuff up on there as well, you know, some videos, and, you know, people send us snaps. If you want to send us a quick snap of a video, do so. We love to see people playing table tennis, and if you want, we can provide a little bit of feedback. So get with the program, get on Snapchat. It's huge, man. You got to be on Snapchat. Our username is PingSkills. So go to Snapchat and add us. All right, time for the questions, Alois. And first up, Mustafa says, I feel more comfortable on my backhand side. So with my forehand, I mostly try to block or to send the ball to the opponent's side with straight shots without thinking about spin or looping. So is it okay for me to use long pips on my forehand?
Yeah, Mustafa, it's certainly not conventional, but it is possible, you know. So it's something different. So by using the pimples on the forehand, obviously you're limiting the amount that you're going to be able to attack the ball on the forehand side. But if that's your game, if you block a lot on the forehand and then you've got the inverted on the backhand to play a faster topspin, that's fine. You know, like it's about finding a combination or rubbers that are going to really suit your style. And if that's what you do, then long pimples on the forehand, you know, give it a try. Definitely give it a try and see how it works. You might find that, I don't really like it in the end. That's okay. But try it, see what the pimples are like on the forehand, and see where your game gets to.
Yeah, interesting. I guess, Alois, you wouldn't advise someone starting out to go this route, because you'd want them to develop the forehand, because it can be such, you know, a potent stroke with a top spin. And a lot of people find that forehand easier. So not something we'd recommend all the time. But, yeah, as an alternative, and if you're enjoying the game, try it out, see how it goes. And I guess with the backhand becoming stronger, maybe we'll see more of that, because at the moment, people that use long pimples, it always tends to be on the backhand. But, you know, maybe we'll see more of it in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, like, and you could even think about maybe a medium pimple on the forehand as you progress. So with the medium pimple, you can attack a little bit more. You still get the effect of the long pimple, or, you know, some of the effect of the long pimple. So yeah, give that a try as well. Maybe a medium pimple, but
or maybe a short pimple. That is, you know, still happens occasionally, and there's some top players, you know, in the top 100 in the world that use short pimples on their forehand. So yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, experiment, find something. I mean, the bottom line for everyone is find something that suits your game. So yeah, if that suits your game and suits the way that you play, give it a go.
All right, good question, Mustafa. Now, Doug wants to know, what is the best way to clean a table? My new table is a few weeks old and has many ball marks from the bat, etc. I've tried vinegar and water with no luck. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I tend to just use either warm water, but yeah, just warm, just lukewarm. And if anything, I just put a drop of detergent in it, but just a very, very weak solution of detergent. Sometimes you build up a little bit of oils and things on the table, and that detergent just helps to get that off. But yeah, you don't need too much. The ball marks, you're not really ever going to get all of those ball marks off. They tend to stay in the in the table. But the bat marks where, sometimes where you contact the table with the bat, they often do come off. Important, don't try and rub it, and don't use anything abrasive, definitely, as you probably worked out, because that abrasive will take the paint off the top, and you don't want to do that. So just something soft, use a soft cloth, warm water, a little bit of detergent, and yeah, the table should be bouncing as new.
Yeah, I guess it's like with anything, Alice. When you get something new, you want to keep it just looking like it was when you first got it. So yeah, it's good you're looking after the table, Doug. But I guess, after a year and 2 years and 3 years, you're not so keen on cleaning it every other week, are you?
Yeah, but it's a good idea though, but also don't clean it too often, because again, you don't want to have too much moisture on the table and too many detergents and things getting into there. Just wipe it down. I tend to wipe it down just with a dry cloth a lot, keep the dust off, and then sometimes every now and then I'd go out there with some water or detergent and wipe it down.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And like you said, you don't want water just laying on there, so you're going to wipe it and get that water off quickly so it doesn't have a chance to do anything bad to the table.
Yep.
All right. Well, excellent, Doug. Good to see you got a new table. It is always exciting to get new equipment, and especially a new table. Good luck. Hopefully that helps you out. Enoch has the next question. And Enoch says, I have a problem with my backhand counterloop. It sometimes hits the edge of my bat, and other times it goes off the table. Do I have to contact the ball with my bat closed, or do I contact the ball with an open bat and come in and flat hit?
Yeah. So initially, when you're trying to counter loop, take it slowly. I like to build up the counter loop from the block. So you're starting by blocking the ball. Then you can start to just put a little bit of topspin on the ball by coming up and forward on the ball. So still here you can see that you've got quite an open racket, an open face. And then just adding a little bit of topspin on the ball. As you start to get a little bit more confident with it, then you can start to utilize more wrist. And then perhaps at the next level, then you can start to think about turning your bat over a bit more and coming forward. If you go straight into trying to do this, you are going to hit the edge of the racket. You're going to miss a lot of balls. It's hard to get the flight of that topspin coming at you and still make that counter topspin. So yes, start with the block, open it a little bit, put more topspin on it, put more topspin, and then you can start to develop it into a counter loop type stroke. Especially off that slower spinny ball, it's difficult because the ball's dipping at you. It's changing height really quickly. So yeah, give that a go. We do have a video on how to counter a slow spinny topspin. That's in our strokes and techniques section. So have a look at that. That shows you both the forehand and backhand. It shows you how to block, how to counter topspin, how to punch. So there's some good options there for you as well. But yeah, it's a really difficult stroke, but it's one that you can develop. And it's really effective. Even just putting a little bit of topspin back on the ball, on the block, makes it all that more difficult for the person that's attacking at you.
Yeah, it certainly does. And if you watch the top players these days, adding some topspin when they're trying to counter someone else looping at them is becoming really popular because it is so effective. Again, I think it's a bit of a change in the game. People used to just block on the backhand, but now they're adding their own topspin. So it's certainly possible, but like I said, it's difficult. So yeah. Start with the block, the ordinary backhand block, and then work your way up from there. Good question.
Yeah, I mean, we'd all love to just go out there and play like Ma Long straight away. I mean, Ma Long just, everything is either a really forceful backhand, or he's counter top spinning, or getting around and counter top spinning with a forehand. That looks great. It's fantastic, but that's a skill that's come from a lot of practice. So start with the basics, make sure you can block, add a little bit, or as you go along.
Absolutely. All right, Alois, that wraps up show 225, the square of 15. So go to our Facebook page and answer the PingSkills question of the day, maths or English. Follow us on Instagram, great post there. Get on to Snapchat, and also go to pingskills.com and sign up for our email. Then you'll get all the great stuff we have. All right, thanks everyone, and thank you, Alois.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. And guys, have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for another interesting and great show. And don't forget, send in your questions as well through the Ask the Coach page or directly here on the Google Plus page. So we love to get your questions and help you out. See you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.